All right, welcome to another Closify interview. Here I have my guest today, James. James has been on the Closify platform, for about 2 years now. He got in here, I want to say about 2 years ago, and then got onto an offer. And I believe he's been on that same offer for around the last 2 years' time. So, with that being said, James, thanks for popping on. Love if you could go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. So, my name is James. You can probably tell from the accent I'm Irish. And yeah, Josh is right. I've been closing for about 2.5, maybe 3 years. And yeah, it's been markedly better since I've been with Closify. But I think you have some questions for me, Josh.
I do have some questions for you. That's the entire dynamic of an interview. And so, with that being said, I'd love if you could give us a brief synopsis of your prior sales experience, like maybe even what you were doing before Closify.
Yeah, so before Closify, I was doing a few offers that some friends had. So a friend of mine got me into sales, showed me some training from our Lord and Savior Sam Ovens, and he yeah got me on my first few offers. So I started closing on. It was uh, a coaching platform for cryptocurrency for trading crypto, and yeah, I mean everyone's an expert in the bull market, so
I can
that was quite fun
imagine.
to yeah. Then I sold for a few digital marketing agencies, and that was did that for about I think 6 months, and then that around then I got in touch with you guys, and yeah, I'm currently have been selling a coaching program for artists for the past about 2 years now.
hmm hmm Yeah, and that was going to be my next question. Like, what explicitly had you sold in the past? So it sounds like, for the most part, aside from maybe like the digital marketing agencies, like paid advertisements, email marketing, whatever they were selling, you'd been selling for the most part like info products and coaching and consulting, right?
Yeah,
Got it.
absolutely.
For sure. And how long into your sales career did it take you to start making like decent money, like living money?
So let me think. I'd been at it for almost a year, so it was a couple of months after I joined Closify actually that artist offer that I'm on now. So yeah, I would say about 10 months.
Okay. And so with that 10 months being you originally getting in, or it sounds like your buddy put you onto sales and then you went through some offers here and there, you were making money, weren't making money. And then once you got on that Closify offer, it was more so consistent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. That's what I love to hear. That's like exactly what we're looking for. And so, how exactly did you find out about me and Alex and Closify?
So my friend who got me started in closing and sales, you
Mhm.
know him, Connor.
Correct.
He yeah he turned me on to you guys and he made the introduction.
hmm Dude, love Connor. I don't know. I always say this to individuals, especially those from the Irish Isles, but I don't know what it is about Irishmen, but they have simply put been the best sales reps I've ever seen in my life. Whether it's on like just normal offers or super, super high ticket offers, I'm talking like 40, 60 to $100,000 plus. It must be the accent. People find it endearing, but
Yeah,
dude, the Irish just breeds a different type of salesperson. I don't know what you guys are putting in the Guinness over there, but I definitely like it's just pattern recognition at its finest. And
yeah,
so
low morals maybe.
maybe. And so, did you have any sort of learning curve, kind of like when it comes to sales? I know that you had good training from basically almost like the godfather of the process for onboarding and getting individuals, whether that's like agencies or info products and coaching consulting, Sam Ovens. I even remember like back way back in the day, my sales agency days, when I would be taking sales calls with business owners. And I want to say it was the part where like, and you guys can find exactly what I'm talking about in my free guide that I have in the description for like framing the call on my master script, but where I would basically just say like, hey, so like at the very beginning of the call, we're about to jump into things, whatever. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and then I'd love to get like yes or no if you feel like that this is something can help you, blah blah blah, and then like yes or no answer. I don't want to take like a no or I need to think about it as an answer. I remember a few times saying something like that in accordance with the sales script or like just the process I was going for. And I would get compliments or people would chirp me because they're like, oh, that's very Sam Ovens esque. And at that time, I'd known about him, but I hadn't really been through any of his stuff. And I'd be like, yeah, I guess so. I mean, as like sales is kind of all the same in the sense that I feel like every sales trainer kind of puts out like the same content. There's no like one thing that's going to make you stand above everyone else. But
Mm.
yeah, I did recognize that. And
Yeah.
so, with that being said, what was that kind of learning curve looking like? Like, were you performing a little better or worse, like in your first offers? Was there any time that things really just clicked throughout your sales career?
Mm. Yeah, so it was a bit of a rocky start for me. So I had listened to The Way of the Wolf, the audiobook, Jordan Belfort, and then yeah, I did some Sam Ovens training, and it was a bit kind of it was a rocky start because of course you can read all the books you want, but you won't actually know how it's applied until you do it. So um, when it all clicked for me, see the offer I'm currently on with the artist, the
Mhm,
owner of that offer did a stint of sales himself, so he ran the sales side of things himself. So it's been good having him as kind of a mentor
mhm.
for sales. He understands the process himself, so we do a little meet up every morning and discuss a bit about sales. And yeah, it kind of started a couple months into closing for my current offer. Really, um, it was yeah just a matter of repetition and doing iterations on the same script
Mhm.
and seeing what works, keeping what does, keeping what doesn't, and of course some things along the way, like Alex Hormozzi's what is it, conviction will correct your tone.
Mhm.
Um, that's something that really did a lot for me, just because I really believe in the offer I'm selling right now, which is a big thing, you know.
Got it. And one thing that I also want to point out for like all the viewers right now is that you've been on the same offer for the last like 2 years time. And a lot of people look at high ticket sales, remote closing, or just any sort of like this specific space as like gig work. And so while 100% like you're a 1099, you're not necessarily a W2. It's not like any sort of corporate vibe where you have kind of more strings attached to the business than some sort of contractor, whether they were hiring them for like web design or having an agency on retainer or something. Like there's like loose ties essentially when it comes fiscally to you in that business, but you've stayed with these individuals for 2 years. And so is there any
Mm.
particular reason for that? Is it just like good offer that you like closing for? Is there any specific reason that you've stayed with these individuals that long?
A couple of things. So first of all, Miguel, as the owner, he is fantastic in that he's patient. He knows he's done sales himself, so he knows what's happened, that kind of thing, and he's done a good bit for me in terms of as a mentor. So there's that aspect of it. Also, I'm selling to artists, and they're very interesting people, so it's a good way to keep things fresh. Um,
Yeah, I can imagine.
yeah,
And then helping them no longer become the starving artist or whatever exactly it is that you
yeah,
offer them. I'm not too familiar
yeah.
with the offer. I just talked with them on a demo call once and took their money and then got them inside of the platform. And then, hey, 2 years of, well, you working with them, I mean, that's definitely well worth the while for getting you or getting them inside the platform and getting you connected with them. And so from there, I'd love to go ahead, kind of transition this more so like what, if you got any advice for people starting off in the remote closing, high ticket closing space, and what advice would you give them, and maybe what things would you say to like look out for, and what should they kind of like aspire for?
Mm. So a couple of things. One big thing is having an offer that you're happy with, an offer that you believe in. I mentioned earlier, Hormozy saying conviction will correct your tone.
Mhm,
If you really do believe that your offer is helping people, like when you do go through, say, a period where you can't close a door, never mind closing a high ticket offer,
mhm.
that conviction, that belief that what I'm doing is helping people will help get you through that, and of course will make you a better salesperson overall. So there's that side to it. Getting on a good offer is was huge, and let me think. Yeah, also about sales reps, just they happen. Kind of have to embrace the suck and just be comfortable feeling a bit like you're drowning, you know. Um, yeah, they happen to everyone, and yeah, again, being on a good offer will kind of help you through that. But yeah, sales wars happen, so get ready to. I mean, just be prepared to feel like shit for a little while,
Got it.
and after that, there was something else.
And also, I got to ask you
Ah,
there,
it's
just
gone.
because I think it's your accent. You're saying sales ruts, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, just
Does it come out of?
couldn't really tell with the accent, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a statistical probability that you will simply get like an entire day of calls that are not qualified, or individuals that will
Hmm.
just not close. On the flip side,
Yeah.
you could get a day of calls. This happened to me before, where you just close every single call, and then you feel like you're on cloud nine and literally invincible, and you contemplate jumping out of your apartment building window just to see if you can fly.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Never really turns out too well the jumping out the window bit, but it's worth a shot, I think.
No,
Um,
I'm good.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Well, love to know if you had any other remarks for me or anything else you wanted to bring up from there. I appreciate you popping on here. One of the things I really like about this interview and that I think that is really interesting is just how long you've been on the offer. A lot of individuals, like a lot of other different ways of making money online, people think is kind of almost like a fad, whether it's like drop shipping or FBA, like, oh, these things won't be around forever. Or even with like the crypto during the bull market, like, oh, this stuff's not going to be around forever and
Mm.
it's not like an actual thing, yada, yada, yada. But here, explicitly, you could have been doing some sort of 9 to 5 or some sort of manual labor or whatever maybe your expertise was if you went to school or whatever, and you would be stuck to a physical location. You'd be stuck to hours that you have to essentially exist inside of. But with this, you're making good money remotely, and you can do this essentially wherever you want. And you get that
Hmm.
spatial freedom in the sense that you can go wherever you want and do whatever you want, make your own schedule, obviously within the limits of like, you can't just like block off an entire day without like telling the business owner, because like that's just kind of
Mm.
messed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you used any of that for your life so far? Like the fact that you can just work from anywhere?
Yeah. So there have been a few like holidays I've gone on that I've just kind of restricted my hours a little bit, and maybe worked a few hours, and you know I actually moved out to Marbella for a month.
Okay.
When was it? It was last year. Then did a little while in Malaga. Worked from Vienna, a few places around Europe, Amsterdam, that kind of thing. Um, yeah, I haven't done a huge amount of traveling. Well, I've done a bit, a few places around Europe, I guess.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, James, appreciate you coming on the interview. If any of you guys have any more questions when it comes to sales or remote closing, I have a free guide in the description where I walk you guys through everything. I've been very fortunate to collect a lot of testimonials from that. Once again, thank you, James, for popping on here. And I hope
No
you
worries, man.
guys, the viewers, as well, have a great rest of your day. And James, you also have a great rest of your day.
You too, bro.